What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Chat on the Mat with Sensei Denny, of course. Today I'm followed by two new guests and one returning guest. We've got DJ on the end over there, we've got Sensei Jason, and we have Sensei Mando. How are we all doing today, gentlemen?
Can't complain, pretty good.
Yeah, amazing.
Good.
So I want to start off with introducing our new guest today. DJ, why don't you go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I started training at Victory in 2016 and then trained throughout high school, then left for the military in 2020, got back this year, May, and then been training full-time since I got back.
Right on, man, right on. How was the military?
It was good and bad at the same time. Yeah, it's definitely something I don't regret. I loved doing it, but hated it at the same time. I think everyone goes through that when they join the military. But yeah, for the country, for America.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Jason, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm the owner, there goes the light by the way. I'm the owner of the Naperville and Frankfurt location. I started training martial arts when I was 4 years old, and I'm an old fart now, I'm 29. Well, I'll be 29 in a week, so I've been doing martial arts for a long time, let's just put it that way. My passions are long walks on the beach, teaching martial arts, and then just helping people who don't have confidence learn to see themselves the way us as senseis see them, and then teaching them to be confident in their own right.
Yeah.
That's what I look to do.
Right on, right on. I mean, I've known you since I've been here, but how long? When did you start at Victory? You've been training. You said you've been training since 4? Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
So, when did I start at Victory? Maybe 2010, so we're at 2025. So I've been here 15, 16 years here now. Yeah.
Wow. How old were you?
Thanks to Sensei Adam, changed my life. In 2011, I had to be 13 or 14, if I'm doing the math correct. But yeah, Sensei Adam, I walk in, he's there the first day. I'm like, this guy is something else. He looked at me differently, gave the attention differently, gave advice differently than anybody else that I've ever worked with. And he's more than just a coach, he's a sensei. It's that's what I want to be, when I met him. Yeah.
DJ, how long ago did you start training?
Started training here?
Yeah.
It was 2016. Funny story is that me and my dad, we both agreed that I need to learn how to defend myself. That's why I started. And we actually went out looking at a different gym, but they were closed. And then we came here. So it was like a blessing in disguise, basically.
It's crazy how that happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mando, we know you.
Yeah, you guys know me.
So we'll dig a little bit deeper on those things as the podcast progresses. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is what separates martial artists from regular athletes or regular people. I think those are two different distinctions. I think obviously a martial artist is completely different than a regular person, but I also think it goes beyond that, and martial artists are different than athletes. Because you can be an athlete on one end, but then it's a completely different thing to be a martial artist. So, DJ, what do you think about that?
I think mentally, it's completely different. Obviously, every sport has discipline and hard work, but from Victory, what I got the most growing up was the talks from Sensei Adam, from Sensei Jason. That changed my life, and actually it helped me in the military as well, because a lot of people that join the military, they're really lost, and without, I think, those mat chats that we had, I wouldn't be the person I am today. So,
What one do you think stuck out the most to you that kind of drove motivated you the most?
Stuck out to me, I think if I wouldn't be able to go through the military without, which is funny because our talk right now of the month is gratitude, and that word right there has changed my life.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful for everything that I have. So that's definitely stuck out to me the most.
Yeah, that's powerful. Jason?
Repeat the question for me.
Oh man, good thing I have notes. Good thing I have notes written down.
Yeah.
What separates martial artists from regular athletes and or regular people?
Okay, so the difference between an athlete and a martial artist is number one, martial arts is a lifestyle. You gotta live it, eat it, breathe it, sleep it, read it, whatever. It's your whole life. A real martial artist, not just a fighter, bro. You're reading the books martial artists read. You're going and doing the workouts that martial artists do. You know, like you learn about camaraderie. Even though it's a solo sport, it's like these dudes on the mat are your brothers. The girls, they're your sisters. You know, the sensei, it's almost like your father or your older brother, whatever it is. And it's like it's an entire lifestyle built around being a martial artist. And the coolest part about it is it's not just a sport that works your body, but it's like it's a philosophy that strengthens your mind too. You know what I mean? Like, so like it's one of the hardest things you can do. There's nothing harder than literally rolling against a strong, sweaty dude trying to make you get choked unconscious, and you have to just try to not die, not tap out. You know, like it's, if you can do this, you can do anything. And that's what, like, you can shoot a basketball, make a 3-pointer, no problem, whatever. But like doing a hard roll with one dude who's really experienced, then you got to do a nice, like a hard sparring match with some dude who's been training for forever. And then like, you're going to just shake up with him and hug him right after. Like, it's like, yeah, it's what we do, you know? So like just the lifestyle around it, like the discipline involved, the commitment, and then like also like the willpower you need to show up when you don't feel like it is so much different than running a ball down a court or like hitting a tennis ball. Like, no disrespect to those sports or anything, but like it's just not the same. You know, like martial arts, it's a complete devotion, a conviction you need to have in order to like really get the most like out of it, you know?
Mando?
Yeah. So.
Clear his throat.
Yeah, I gotta clear my throat. But kind of what he was saying is that like the graciousness of the sport and the people on the mats, right? Like we take care of each other. Like we'll go hard and everything, you know, we'll train, you know, sometimes people get hurt, everything, whatever. But at the end of the day, we're still taking care of each other.
Right, yeah.
Everybody on the mats is all, you know, we all have like kind of the same mission, going in the same place. And I think what separates that from just like regular people, like you said, like we still have that respect for each other, you know? It's like after the fact, you know, we dab up everything, you know, it's like love you, bro, everything. But it's like what this says on the wall right here, we will demonstrate the highest level of respect and honor. And you walk around with like a badge on your chest, treating other people differently as opposed to somebody that maybe didn't have this kind of upbringing of that tough lifestyle built from iron sharpens iron on a daily 100%. Basis. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think kind of going off of what you guys said, I think it's the combination of the physical aspect and the mental and emotional aspect. It's just the lessons you learn on the mats, it applies so much, not just on the physicality of the sport, but, you know, in your life. It applies outside of the mats too. And it's one thing I've done is I feel like I am a completely different person and better person in my own personal endeavors because of what I do on the mats. It just naturally translates from the mats to the outside because it is a lifestyle to be a martial artist. You know, I think even like Jason, you said fighter bros. I think there's, even within the gym, there's a distinction between dudes that just come in here to hit stuff and dudes that come in here for the lifestyle of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you can just tell, like, it translates from the physicality of the sport to outside of the way the person walks in through the door and, you know, what they do outside of the gym. It just, being a martial artist is much more than just hitting stuff and choking dudes out.
Nothing wrong with that, but like, and we accept them all, you know.
Yeah, and the vulnerability of it too, you know, because like you said, like sometimes you feel like you're just trying not to die. Right?
Sometimes
like,
you get dogged.
Yeah, sometimes you get dogged and, you know, your feelings are just out there. You just feel like, you know, whatever. But, you know, like he was saying, it's the mat chat after the fact. It's like when you're most vulnerable and then you hear those words about like being grateful. Right?
Yeah, man. Like I remember sometimes, like I would get completely mopped. Like coming here as like a teenager, get mopped. And I'm just like either walking home, riding my bike home. I'm like, is this for me? For like 30 seconds, I'm like, yeah, it's for me. Yeah. Like how much you grow emotionally, spiritually, mentally, any way you grow by just getting mopped. And then you show back up like, man, like, yeah, I'm so thankful for all the times that I got like whooped on. Like it makes life so much easier. And it's like simplification. That's something that Sensei Adam said that I'll never forget. One day he was teaching, he seemed like slightly stressed out. And he's like, this is simplification for me. This is simplification. Like, what do you mean by that? He's like, just coming in here, walking on the mats, teaching a couple of techniques, and then doing a couple of rounds. This is like the easiest thing I can do. It sets me free. I'm like, that's 100% fact. Yeah, like it's just, it frees you, you know. It develops you, grows you, but it also frees you from like the monotony of life and like puts it all in perspective.
Yeah, and it's like you need to go through that adversity, and sometimes you need to put yourself through that, right? Like you need to tell yourself, I need to go through something hard. That's why, like, you know, people work out and people come in here, but this specifically builds you a different kind of way. Especially, you know, you're making that choice. Like you're saying, you're going home and you're like, man, is this really for me? And then like the next day, you're gonna go do it again. You know what I mean? You have to put yourself through that. So you come back in, you know, what's gonna happen today? Am I gonna get mopped again today, or am I gonna, you know?
It's the world's healthiest and most productive addiction you could have.
Yeah.
It's martial arts training, you know?
Yeah, when I first got back from the military in May, the first few months were rough because I was just getting dogged on for months, just by
It wasn't that bad.
fighters, and yeah, it was good though. It definitely helped me grow even more now than ever. So it was great.
What do you think, DJ, you kind of already answered this, but what's, everybody else, if anybody wants to chip in, what's the biggest lesson you think you've taken from the mats and been able to apply it outside in your life?
Yeah, I could give a good example. Like when I first joined, went through boot camp and training and all that, and then I was in DC, and I hated my job. I was just sitting in a booth, staring outside a window for 12 hours, no phone, nothing. You just sit there and make sure nothing happens to the, like security-wise. And just sitting there, just miserable first few months, and then after I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is not that bad. I was like, so I was just being grateful for all the little things around me, my family that I would talk to afterwards, my friends that I would talk to afterwards. When I got to go home, I was even more grateful of being at home than I ever was before. So yeah, like gratitude is definitely the biggest lesson I've learned here.
Yeah, for sure. I love that.
Anything else you want to add?
You have to repeat that question. Repeat that question.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned on the mats and been able to apply off the
I
mats?
get.
He's got it.
I get.
You remember now?
Yeah, I remember now. I'm listening intently, so I'm not going to remember the question.
Are you?
But yeah, so like, I don't know, like, repeat the question again? I'm kidding. No, so anyway, like I would say, like, oh man, like how hard you have to work here when you're in class training, nothing stacks up to it. I remember like my first job, I was a busboy. At first, you know, at any job, you're not good at it in the beginning, right? And like, I was not good, but like you work so hard here that when you go to work, as my first job, cleaning tables, being treated rude and disrespectfully by customers, all that, you know, like other coworkers rude as well, whatever. You're a 15, 16-year-old kid, people talk to you different. You know, I'm like, for me, I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna work my hardest and I'm gonna figure it out. And like, that's kind of how you treat it on the mats. Like when you're a new student here, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try my best, I'm gonna try to figure it out. So I use that as like okay, if I could do these classes here, I can take a class from like Sensei AB at the time or Sensei Grisco at the time, you know, like I can do this no problem. So like the work ethic that you get from it, the drive, the intensity, like there's nothing else that can give you this, you know, like wrestling maybe, but that's part of what we do.
Right.
You know, like the way that it takes you and gives you the edge in so many ways, like whether it's work ethic, whether it's like the commitment you give to something or the sacrifices you're willing to make, you know, like that you get from this and you translate to whatever you do in life besides this, it's gonna translate. It's like, that's the biggest, like, I don't know, biggest benefit besides being able to defend myself, you know, like that's pretty great.
Absolutely. Mando, you got anything to add?
Not to add, but you know, this is the question. But the biggest thing that I learned is just being like water, right? And just being able to fit in any kind of situation, any kind of scenario. Where I first like really applied that was on the mats when you have people that have different styles, you know, doing different things that maybe you're not used to. Is just being able to work your way around that, figure out a different way, because
adapt,
you know my double leg might work on somebody, but it might not work on somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So then I have to switch it up to my single leg or switch it up to something else, right? And then I kind of let that trickle out in the life, right? Because you know there's those people, like you said, those coworkers that are mean to you and everything, and you have to learn how to deal with that and not let your emotions get in the way. So just be like water and just fit into any kind of shape and let life, you know, just not let it happen in front of you. You know, obviously take your moments and you know, take advantage of your opportunities, but not everything you need to be so like, this is me. Like sometimes you can
Be formless, my friend.
Be
like,
formless.
personally.
And learn from everybody. Learn something from everybody. That's another one of the biggest things that I learned from Sensei Grisco is that there's every single person, even like the white belts, the first day on the mat. There's something you can learn from every single person, whether it's whether it's about MMA or it's about life or whatever you're doing, school, work. There's always something you can learn from somebody. There's always a different perspective. It's always
That's huge. Like when you walk into the Naperville school, like you would, like any other place, you see like black belts, trophies, tough guy stuff. Like you walk into Naperville, the first thing you see is a white belt tied to the first cage panel when you walk in. It's because it's exactly what you said. That's why, you can learn anything at any time from anyone, and it's a sentiment to staying humble.
Yeah.
Like martial arts has taught us to do. Like life will humble you, or you humble yourself. You can learn from anybody, and that's I couldn't agree more with what you said. That's super cool. Got to stay a white belt in the mind.
Always.
I
mean, there's so much information out there to learn, and the worst thing is to think that you know everything.
Right. Yeah. He who thinks he knows everything knows nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me has been, I always reference back to it just because it's such a powerful thing. I actually talked about it in my kids' class today, is resilience and the ability to endure, just toughness and all that. And I always think back to when I first started training, I was always the smallest kid around. Especially when I got bumped up to the teens class, it was usually me and Ryan, who was
Remember Joey?
Joey.
Yeah, Joey.
Joey was also like twice my size back. I was like a 50, 60 pounds. And then like everybody was like at least twice my size. Just massive dudes, at least to me back then. And those were my training partners. That's who I had to roll with, that's who I had to spar with. And I remember at the time I was like, oh, holy crap, this is insane. These guys are so big and I'm not doing so hot. But like afterwards I'd be like, yeah, I just train with them. Like there's no other scrawny kid like me training with guys like that.
Right.
And it just like that pressure, that resilience of coming back again and again and again and again, and just, that translated so well outside of the dojo, and being able to like take the weight of life and then being like, well, this is nothing. Like I can handle this. I've handled worse. And that resilience just really played a key component in my life.
1000%.
My personal life. It just translated over so nicely.
Love it.
With that said, we've all been on this martial arts journey for quite some time now. There's going to be ups and downs on that journey, peaks and valleys. So my question is, how do you handle plateaus that you've experienced on this journey as an instructor or as an athlete yourself?
Plateaus. I just ask questions. That's basically it. I just ask questions to all the senseis. That's basically my biggest thing, is how I deal with it. Ask questions of where I need to improve, what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and just try to get in as much work as I can, because you will get better. And I always had the mindset of, I don't know enough, so I need to know more. And that's what gets me past the plateaus. So.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, questions for sure help. But for me, it's like, think about like this quote, like nothing changes if nothing changes. Or if you want things to change, you have to change. Like plateaus, you normally get there because you get to a certain point, right? But what got you here isn't gonna get you there. Like maybe you have to train differently, or maybe you have to ask more questions, or maybe you have to read a book, or maybe you have to watch a couple of fighters and digest their, the way that they go about it. But if we're just talking about like plateaus in life, like you got to start throwing stuff at the wall until it sticks. Like you got to hit every option that you can. Like you have to try different things. And like most people don't do that because they're so afraid to fail. But here's the thing. You do stuff, you try it, you fail, but hey, at least you found something that didn't work, and they're afraid of failure. Hey, you failed now rather than later, at least you got it out of the way. But like with plateaus, it's easy to get to a plateau because a lot of what gets you there is like an emotional, like high point. Like, I'm doing so good, I'm landing my jab, I scored a great takedown, or maybe it's with the fighters, like I won this fight, I won that fight. But then like they feel like they're stagnant, like they're stuck in the mud, stuck in the water. And it's like, that's when you got to start reaching out to your teammates, reaching out to your coaches and senseis. That's when you got to start reading the books. That's when you have to start trying everything different, you know, because once again, nothing changes. If nothing changes, you got to change your approach. And that's where most people go wrong. They quit. Most people quit at a plateau. They get frustrated, they get emotional, and then they think this is as good as I'll ever get. I quit, I give up now. No, you're a couple of different decisions, good decisions or mess ups, mistakes away from getting to that next level, you know? So it's like you just got to keep trying.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. And you know, the thing that comes to my head is like the mistakes that your mentors made. You know, you can learn from those.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you said. Yeah, you can try something to make mistakes. People are afraid to make mistakes, but chances are you know somebody that already made the mistake that you're planning to make.
Right,
so
yeah.
you know, you ask around, just like you were saying. Ask around and find out. You know what's going on. You could, you know, whatever you're planning on trying. But you know, the biggest thing is to never stop looking to gain information and looking to gain knowledge.
Information changes situations.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. To never stop, right? I mean, there's so much stuff on YouTube. There's so many books you can read, and you know, I mean, for me, the way that I implement this into my life is that I dedicate a couple months of like the summertime, you know, times where it's easier to come and train here, to training like 5-6 days a week, and then you know, into the winter time, I'm more lifting weights, and you know, just because. You know, it's like you don't want to plateau, right? So I'm lifting weights, building my strength, and then coming back in here and building my speed, and you know, working my plyometrics and different things.
There you go. I love it. That's cool. Yeah, like that's another thing. Like a lot of dudes who do this, they do this because they don't like working out, you know?
Yeah.
But like when you know, walking on a treadmill, not the best. You know, bench pressing, I like it. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
You know, but like one cool thing is like when you start doing this for enough time, with conditioning, it's always involved in every class, you know? Like you're gonna, like, okay, fine, I'll lift a weight or two. And then they start falling in love with that. And that goes back to the lifestyle thing. You know, you hit it from every angle. Like, okay, well, if I do better at the gym lifting weights, I'll do better here on the mats. And if I do better here on the mats, I'll probably do better at work. And if I do better at work, it all kind of affects each other. And that's like another thing with the plateau is like, as you change one area and elevate one area, all the other areas come up too. You know, it's all, everything affects everything, so it's cool to the way you said that was interesting. I liked it.
Yeah, that's kind of how a couple years ago I hurt my back, and still don't know how. It just randomly, I might have sneezed wrong and it just like blew something out. I don't know, but it really frustrated me because I was really into grappling at the time, and anytime I did grappling, like class, I could do like one rep and then I could just like not walk, like it just hurt. So to an extent, I plateaued, and then I just got frustrated anytime I came in to train. So I was like, all right, something's got to shift, because like I want to be like excited about training. I don't want to come in here and be like, oh, here we go again, like back pain again. So for a short amount of time, or a long time actually, like a year or two, I stopped training grappling for a little bit, and I just went all in on striking. And it was I found a passion again for coming in to train, and it obviously had elevated my striking game. And I even did a smoker exhibition match in between there.
That was a good fight.
And then now, like all of a sudden, my back is better, and I'm back to grappling with a newfound passion for it. Now all I want to do is grapple. Like, I don't care for striking. I just want to grapple now.
I like it.
So it's like if you can't, it's like Mando said, you got to flow. Like grappling wasn't working for me, so I pulled back from that, and I just like invested double time over here, and it kept me mentally sane coming into training.
I like it. Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, like that's another thing too. Like with this is like nobody is ever 100%. This guy just was it a month for your? Was it subluxated collarbone?
Yeah.
I had to memorize the term. The guy's injured.
You remember that, but not the questions.
That's right. that's dang right. Yeah. So anyway, like nobody's 100% of the time, and that's another thing is like learning. That's like 3 mat chats in its own. It's like make do with what you got and bloom where you're planted. Like, Daddy, I think that's exactly what you did when like your back was messed up, so you couldn't do your favorite thing, grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. But you're like, okay, I like striking enough. Let me get good at it. And like you can see, like, you know, the proof's in the pudding. Your skills came up a ton. But like sometimes life will give you these setbacks, which they're just really setups for you to get better and gain more perspective and more. I don't know, like to help you evolve, you know? Like without pressure, there can't be diamonds, so to speak. I know that sounds corny, like an Instagram caption or whatever, but like for real, like if you didn't hurt your back, you wouldn't have become the man you are or the sensei you are or the martial artist you are. And like, you don't learn that kind of stuff unless you do mixed martial arts. At Victory Martial Arts, free week trial. Look us up. You know, but yeah.
Yeah, just to add on this to like the way to deal with plateaus. I'm reading this book right now because I'm stepping into leadership, you know, in Lockport and everything. I'm reading this book called The Leadership Shift, and in that book, this guy is very wise. He said that at the end of each day, you want to make sure that you're satisfied, but not satisfied enough to where you don't wake up the next day wanting to keep going at it, right? So I don't know. I just want to see what you guys think of that. But what I think of that is like, it really changed the way, because like usually you think, okay, I'm gonna give everything today, right? And sometimes you sacrifice like sleeping and like everything to get something done, right? But sometimes you need to do just enough where I'm like, okay, I did enough today, so then tomorrow you can wake up and attack it again, you know?
So
what do you guys?
I could write a whole book about that one right there.
Yeah.
But like, anyway, I get that completely. Like you're saying, give it all today, but like leave something behind for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's the one part I would disagree with, because it's not leave something as far as tasks go behind, because you can handle the tasks.
Right.
You'll grow, you'll stretch, you'll expand, you'll handle all the tasks. But you don't need more. You don't need to leave more things left behind. You need more reasons left behind. Like a person
reason
could do,
to want it.
Right.
Yeah.
A person could do incredible things with enough reasons. Like most people don't do well, not because they're not strong enough, not smart enough, not capable enough, just because they don't have enough reasons. You know. So like for me, like you know, like I do a lot of stuff now, a lot of work, a lot of administrative stuff, teaching stuff, like a lot of work stuff, running the different locations, and it's like there's always something to do. There's always something to do, but like it's the reasons. What you need more reasons to keep going. Like I need more inspiration. Like do it for like my future kids, or my future wife, or for my sensei to honor his lineage, or like to make a difference in these kids and their futures, even if it takes them 1 degree difference from where they're going, put them on a better path. That's enough reason for me to like get hungry to get after it again tomorrow. And it's like, I agree with that quote, but I'd say, don't leave things behind, leave reasons behind, you know? Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a better way to say it.
I think it's really powerful because I'm very task oriented. I just have so many things I'm juggling. I feel like I'm juggling like 10 balls at the same time, like all day long. But I feel like a robot at the same time, because it's like I want to get so much done within a day, and I don't feel hungry for the next day. I feel frustrated that I didn't do enough today.
Yeah, you'll get over that.
It's like man,
you'll never be able to do enough, so to speak. But the satisfaction thing, if we come back to that, like you only feel satisfied when you fulfill your purpose. You know, like if your purpose is to make money, if you don't make money, you don't feel satisfied. You know, money is not a good purpose. But if your purpose is to make an impact, to touch somebody's heart, to take a kid with a broken wing and teach him how to fly again, metaphorically, right? To make somebody who clearly is having a bad day and just do something to make their day a little bit better, and that's your purpose, then you're gonna go to bed satisfied. You know, like the phone calls you can make them, the emails you can type them, the gym you can clean it, the parties you can plan them for, like the UFC watch parties. Those are great, by the way. But you'll never feel satisfied until you satisfy your purpose day by day, you know? That's the only thing that satisfies me, at least.
Yeah, and I struggled with like satisfaction when I got injured. So I got injured about 3 months ago, and I trained through it. And then went to see a doctor, and he's like, you gotta take a month off. So I was lost. But teaching the kids definitely satisfied my purpose of Victory. It's big on love and grow, and love everybody around you. And I think of grow as in like growing myself. So teaching the kids kind of like helped with that satisfaction of giving me purpose, because I couldn't train, I couldn't lift, and that was basically my purpose before getting injured. And now my mind's kind of changed overall, and I still want to fight, I still want to train, everything like that, but now that this injury happened, it kind of opened my eyes, and I have a bigger purpose of changing others now. So that definitely changed my life.
Yeah, dude, everything happens for a reason. You know, nothing happens for no reason. And like you mentioned, like growth, right? Like, and that's another cool thing if we're talking about, you know, just the lifestyle, being a martial artist here. Like, if we're talking about growth, you can't pour from an empty cup. You know, if you're not growing, if you're staying the same, there's no such thing as staying the same. You're growing or you're dying. You're climbing the mountain or you're sliding down it. You're getting better or you're getting worse. You know, and like, that's one of the coolest things, free week trial, about being a martial artist is that like you have to grow, but you get excited about it. Like you're excited to read the next book. You're excited to go to the next instructor seminar. You're excited to go to the next, I don't know, like what's the one jiu-jitsu dude who's in town, seminar, whatever.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, great seminar. But yeah, like you're excited to keep growing, whereas most people in their regular jobs or whatever, regular lifestyles, regular hobbies, regular sports and activities, they just kind of go through it and hope they do good, you know, for the most part. But like it's built in that life, the essence of it is growth when you're doing martial arts, and you're always keeping your cup filled. You're learning, you're growing, you're increasing so you can give more. And then like to like a segue DJ's thing about, you know, like when he realized how much more fun and more fulfilling it is to help somebody else out, you know, that's another thing about martial arts that you don't learn from something else. It's like when your purpose becomes not just about I or just about me, and your purpose becomes about the people around you and the impact you can make, that's so much more like fulfilling than just like I want to score a touchdown.
Yeah, especially when you can see the changes in the people that you're impacting as well.
Right.
You know, like when I'm dealing with these kids and everything, you know, just seeing them just act a little bit differently. You know, act a little bit more confidently. It's really, that's the most fulfilling parts. You know, you impact them and then you see them change and become a different kind of person or a better version of themselves.
Yeah.
I think that kind of goes into my next question. Actually, I was gonna segue into what is it like getting athletes or fighters ready to perform, both as a training partner yourself and for us as instructors. Sometimes, you know, Jason, I think you've got plenty of experience combined. You know, you got way more experience than any of us here. But what is it like?
So it's a very heavy responsibility. And you have to be good at balancing it, managing it, and directing it, if that makes sense. Like, if we're talking about whether it's a boxing match, kickboxing match, MMA fight, jiu-jitsu match, even for the kids doing the grappling games, which is now combat games, free week trial. But anyway, so, you know, like you have to take it seriously and almost treat it like it's a newborn baby. And in the essence, like you have to make sure they're eating right, make sure they're getting their sleep, like simple stuff like that. Make sure their mindset is right. Every athlete has different mindsets. Some people have such fear attached to them that like they'll do great in the gym, but when they go under the bright lights, they freeze and they panic. So like you almost have to be Dr. Phil-esque and like confront them with their fears beforehand. It's like, hey man, just so you know, there's gonna be lights, camera, action, there's gonna be a crowd, there's gonna be people booing. Are you ready to handle that? He's gonna hit you and he's gonna hit you hard. But when you get hit hard, when the lights, the camera, the action, the people booing are there, are you gonna break or are you gonna rise to the occasion? You know, so like something we started doing, actually one of them was DJ's idea, was for one of our athletes to actually play the sound of the crowd in the background. And it's almost like simulation. That's something that you probably did in the military or something.
Yeah, we did a lot of like war sounds when we were training, so it really got your mind right.
And it sounds goofy, and if somebody were to walk off the street, like, what's going on here? But like for real, it's like you put them in the simulation chamber with the rounds and you play the background noise. They hear the bell, they hear the crowd, they hear the boos, but you like the boo, you're
Desensitization is what it's
right,
called.
Yeah. Exposure therapy, so to speak. But then you do the simulation chamber in other ways too, with talking to them. It's like, hey, how are you? What's your mind like right now? What's your anxiety level on a scale of 1 to 10? Don't lie to me, dude. I was scared before every fight. If you're not scared, you're a sociopath. You should be scared. Like, you need to be, a little fear is good. Nervousness is good. That's your body preparing you. If you're not scared, let's pull out of this fight. I don't know. It's not a good idea. But maybe not for everybody. But like, there's so much that goes into it. And you want to make sure that they care as much as you care. Because if they're just thinking they're going to show up 1 or 2 days a week and eat Burger King and then lift at the gym once or twice and they think that's enough, they're in for a rude awakening. So you have to give them the reality of the sport, be there like a mother or father for them to support them, guide them, and like kind of like take control of them. And after a couple of fights, like we got some experienced guys now, like they kind of do it for themselves. But for the new guys, it's always the same thing. Like, you have to like be there for them, answer the call when they need it, tell them, direct them, give them every little thing to eat, every little thing to drink, every little, how much you're sleeping, how to cut weight, all that stuff.
That's wild. I didn't even think about all those things. Over the summer, we had a couple guys from Orland do a smoker, and I kind of, I've got no fight coaching experience, but I did as much as I could for them. And like I would take them to the stairs every Sunday, and we would just do laps up and down the
run
stairs.
faster. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes.
Run faster and harder.
I'm tired, coach. Let's go.
That's too dang bad. But
But
yeah,
I
that's,
didn't even think about how involved it should be.
and that's
to that
just
extent.
the whole getting prepared thing. We even talk about the strategization. That's a hard word for me right now. Like the fight camp planning, the pad work, hey, you have a tendency to throw your right hand after this specific attack every time. They're going to catch up on that. Or hey, you drop this hand when you throw that overhand, you better bring it up. Like nitpicking in a positive way, unlike the gratitude mat chat, but nitpicking every little tiny mistake and trying to reprogram them as if they're like a computer program, reprogram them to make these bad habits like more automatic, make them good habits and make them automatic throughout the 8-week, 10-week camp, however much time we get. Like that is a lot of time, a lot of repetition, a lot of like, you kind of have to be like, if you're being their sensei and their coach, you got to be real with them. You got to tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Like, hey man, you've been dropping your hand too much. Hey, you've been getting lazy after round 6, round 7 in sparring. Or hey, your discipline just isn't there, man. Like you got to be real with them, and they either rise to it or they run. The ones who rise to it always do the best. The ones who run, they weren't meant to compete at that level, which is not for everybody. You got to really want it.
You ever had to pull the plug on anybody?
Oh yeah, yeah. A bunch. So like, there's that one corny quote. It was like an old school, The Ultimate Fighter episode of Dana White doing the "So you want to be a fighter?" You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So it's kind of like that. Like, so you want to be a fighter, but do you want to show up and do the rounds? Do you want to get here at this time on time? Do you want to stop lollygagging in between rounds and get your next partner? Like I'll always be like, I'll put a timer on. Okay, well, let's get a water break. You have this much time. Yeah. That's a 1-minute timer. You better be back here, high-fived, bowed, ready to do your next round. And sometimes I'll have them like do some sprints or push-ups or something if they take too long. I'm like, listen, I understand. You think you want to fight, you think you want to compete, but you have to do the real process. You have to treat it like you're in the military training to go to war against somebody who's trying to kill you. Like if you're gonna compete, it's not like they're just gonna be like, their opponent's not gonna be like, I'm just training a little hard for this. No, your opponent, you always have to imagine, is working twice as hard as you. So like making sure that they put that effort in, sometimes that's the dividing line between who makes it and who doesn't, and the people who don't make it, like, hey man, we're gonna have to pull this fight from you because I just don't think it would be a good idea for you. I've had to do that a good handful of times.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
As training partners, how's that? What's that experience like working with athletes that are ready to take that walk?
So I got back in May, and like I had a month.
Shoulder.
I had a month, and then guys were fighting, so I was helping them train, and I needed to be like, I wanted to get better for myself, but I also realized that like I need to eat right, sleep right, and then show up for training for them. And one of our guys just went through a camp, and I was just trying to be my best for him so he could succeed. And that was the biggest thing, was just showing up for him, not only myself, and eating right. Just making sure that it's almost like I'm getting ready for a fight just because I'm training with him. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, he brings a piece of you in there with him on that fight night. That is huge too. Like, that's another thing. Like you say, it's not a team sport, but like you have to be at your best. You have to eat right. You have to stay hydrated, make sure you're taking care of yourself if you want to make sure you can help out your brothers or sisters the way that you want them to. Like you got to stay peak performance. Peak performance is kind of a corny word, but like if you want to do your best for them, you got to stay like top level, top notch. You can't be getting lazy, eating junk food every night. It's a commitment.
Yeah, it's the thing that I like to say a lot is like confidence through preparation. So like the level of confidence you have is through preparation. Some people, sometimes they get in over their head, you know, like you said, they come in 2 days a week. And, you know, I'm 20, so a lot of these guys that want to fight, you know, and everything, they usually talk to me about it first, and they're like, hey, I think I want to fight. I'm like, dude, you've been here for like 3 months.
It's slowly rolling.
I think we should, you know, wait a little bit before, because, you know, like,
Yeah, this is not the University of World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah,
We got some time and reps put in.
yeah. and I've, you know, I've also been a body for, you know, some of the more advanced guys here that have fought, and yeah, it's all about the preparation for it. You know, it's not everybody's willing to go through that hard camp, right? And then, like, I remember one time specifically, we sat this one kid down, and we were like, you know, you have to come in at least 4 days a week. To coming here to train hard and staying like an extra hour even after class to hit pads, and we're gonna spar. And yeah, he was like, yeah, no, I don't have time for that.
Well,
it's like,
we're not gonna let you do it.
Yeah, because I mean, like we're all saying right now, like it's an individual thing, but it's also a team. Like you're representing Victory MMA when you step into that ring, and I feel like, you know, what it says on this wall, I'm gonna mention it again, like the highest level, right? We're going to give our best and give our all. So that's why you're talking about being there for our teammates, and that's an important thing. You know, we want to be there for these people and make sure that they bring their best.
Right. Yeah. And like just like they'll be there for you.
Yeah.
And like when they go and compete, they bring a piece of you in that cage. When you go and compete, you bring a piece of all of your teammates in there with you. You know, and like then to see them in the crowd cheering you on, win, lose or draw. Whether you're beating butt or they're beating your butt, they're still there for you the same way. And it's like, that's...
And it's important to collect as a group. I mean, because you can spar and hit pads with the same guy every single day, but you know, but you need a group of 5 or 6 people to cycle it out, get different, you know, perspectives on it.
Different looks is huge,
different,
you know.
different everything.
You know, like Jacob over there is going to take you down a little bit different than Bobby does. None of them are going to submit you unless their name's Denny, but like, And you know, this guy's different. He's not, you know, your opponent. He's going to be, you don't, especially
don't
if it's a debut fight, you don't even know anything about the guy.
Yeah.
So you got to prepare for anything. So like, you need a community around you, especially as like you keep competing, and maybe you do a jiu-jitsu tournament, you do one of those new cool wrestling wars things or whatever. Like you're gonna need some free week trial. You're gonna need some different training partners, you know. Yeah. Like you're gonna need a group of dudes around you.
Yeah, someone with strong wrestling in the group, and then somebody with strong kickboxing, somebody else with something, you know?
And like back to iron sharpens iron, like you got a strong wrestler, he's gonna make you a better wrestler. You get a strong kickboxer, he's gonna make you a better kickboxer. Everybody's, you know, making everybody better.
And then everything comes up.
Right, exactly.
I think it elevates the environment, the room when somebody's in fight camp. You know, when, like for example, like when Eddie's in fight camp, the whole room just shifts.
You can feel it in the air,
Like there's a tension, but a good tension, like a vibe of like everybody in here is putting in hard work, and you hear the pads cracking over here, and you already know what that means, you know. And it's just different. Like when somebody's not in fight camp, not that we're just chilling out here, but it's just different.
There's a noticeable shift in the air.
Yeah, everything's a little more relaxed. There's no, there's no like raining doom.
Especially when the whole team is there too.
Yeah, and it's super cool, and then you get a whole. Everyone's got a story to share.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, hey, remember when he did that? Remember when he like kicked this guy in the face and stuff? Like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jason, we need some old school dojo lore.
Old school dojo lore.
Yes.
Oh, I've got too much. You might as well call me Unc, because I'm gonna be 29 now. So like old school dojo lore. What can I say that's not gonna be like crazy? Yeah, I don't want to be offensive. It was a different time back then, boy. Just kidding. So like, I don't know. Let me see. What could I say? Like, should I talk about Orland, Naperville?
Well, like from my perspective, like the other day I did a doom scroll on the Orland Park Victory page, like as far as I could go, as far as my finger could take me. And I saw like we used to do like fight team tryouts.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Oh Lord. So like back in like the OG days, back when I'm talking like Sifu Dion Ricardo was still running it. Then we had like Anthony Bodicani, Sensei Grisco, Paul Reinhardt, Rhett Wheeler, like all these other people who used to be involved here at Victory and other locations were there to help like run the tryouts. Tryouts were it was a slugfest. That's what it was. It's basically, welcome to the Salty Spittoon, how tough are you? You know, how tough are you? No, I'm kidding. It wasn't always like that, but for sure there was a major part of it that was like that. But, you know, with Seafood, Dion Ricardo being there, a lot of it was like what we do. There's a lot of philosophy involved. There's a lot of like dietetics involved, making sure you're eating right, teaching you and educating you about your health and stuff like that. It was super cool, actually. But the tryouts, you just basically, oh my gosh, like the conditioning was terrible. Like you'd be carrying like, do you remember we had those giant tires that took us forever to get rid of?
Yeah, like the
we
tractor
used to
tires that
actually
were like,
use all of those. Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, the biggest one I had to flip when I was like 14. I'm like, it ain't happening. He's like, you can do it. I'm like, I don't know about that, man. He's like, flip that tire. I'm like, I had to flip that tire. You had to flip it from, we saw the fence from one side of the dojo to the other, back when we still had the drywall with all the holes in it. What a time. Wow, we came up. But yeah, like you'd be flipping tires, throwing a like sledgehammer at basically all the workouts were manual labor. Yeah. We had to carry like the sandbag, slam it. You had to pick up a partner who was always bigger than me, pick him up, carry him across the width of the dojo, and then burpees, mountain climbers, sprints, high knees, 100 kicks on your right leg on the bag, 100 kicks on your left leg on the bag, and then you have to spar to the death.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this is, wow, they're really weeding out the weak here. And like, luckily, like the first time I tried out, I didn't make it. You know, like it wasn't a walk-on thing. Like a lot of people did not make it. They ran a tight ship. So like the first year I tried out, I don't know, the first season, we used to do 2 seasons, like fall and spring. Fall, I didn't make it. I just, whatever, didn't make the cut. And that like, I was like, okay, I'm making this thing next time around. I was probably 15 or 16 or whatever at the time. So like, I've been training for this moment. Like I was going to the gym, sprinting on the treadmill, like a maniac. People were like, should we call that guy's parents? He seems upset. Like I'm sprinting on the treadmill, eating right, all while being on the cross-country team in high school. And like I'm doing this so it can help me make the team. Like I literally joined cross-country to try to make the team.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like spring comes around, we do the crazy workouts, kicks my butt even more, and then plot twist, there's a bunch of new crazy workouts that I've never even heard of. And you know what a Turkish get-up is? It's just, I feel like it's just like an FU of an exercise. It's like, why am I doing this? It's like you have like this crazy, let's say this is a kettlebell. You have to like lay on the ground like you just got shot or something. And then you pick it up like this, and then you go like this, and then you do a tactical get-up. And it's like the world's heaviest thing in the world. Like, why are we doing this? But I think it was just, once again, to weed out the weak folks. But I was determined to not make the cut again. So like I did everything I could. I sparred harder than I ever sparred in my life. And, you know, I actually ended up, because they do that cool thing at the end where they call your names. And I was like, towards the end of the list, I'm like, I'm really nervous. Like, they're going to call my name or what? And they called my name. I'm like, yes! And it was like a Rocky Balboa moment, like minus the stairs, you know. Like, but like, I was so proud of myself. And like some of those people from that tryout are still some of my best friends to this day, because like we just probably reminiscent of like what DJ went through with boot camp. You know, like it's such a hard process that like those people in the tryouts become like your brothers for life or sisters for life. You know, so
what did it mean to be on the fight team? You guys were just.
It was an honor. Like you don't just make the fight team. It was like, yeah, it was intense, and that was back in the day. Like way back in the day when Team Victory was, I think we're probably bigger than it used to be now, but like it was huge. Like we would go all over the place, and everyone knew the Team Dion Ricardo jacket, which was Victory. And like to have that jacket meant something. Like you don't just get that jacket. You have to be like, say, okay, you're allowed to have that jacket now. It was like one of those cool, like high school, you know, I got the Letterman
like
jacket.
Letterman jacket.
Like the specific fight team hoodie was like, yes, that's cool. So it's cool, like and then you go to the fights, and then everybody knows you. Like, oh, I'm from the UIC location. Do you remember we used to have a UIC location?
I actually did not.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, Sean Teslow, runs it now. It's Warrior Evolution MMA. Shout out to them. I think they have a free week trial as well if you're in the area. Anyway, yeah. So like, we're all from the same era, and like, you get to see people from different gyms, which for me at the time was new. Like, there's other Victories? What? And they're just as cool as the people at my Victory? Wow. And like every Victory's big on respect, you know, like that's in case you don't know what I'm pointing at people on the camera, it's the mural. Read a book, get with the program. But yeah, like, so that whole tryout process to make the team, you get brothers for life, and it's such a transformative process. And I'm kind of trying to like re-emulate that in a way on Saturdays at the Naperville school, but just not as intense. I'm not going to make you do a Turkish get up or
you're getting soft on
flip
us.
a tire. Getting soft. We actually just got rid of our tire. We couldn't get rid of our tire either. We had to take our guy Tyler. Tyler, if you're watching this, shouts to you. He took it home, and then I believe he sawed it in half. I'm like, thank you. We couldn't get rid of it for forever. There's a liability, that thing. Kids were crawling in it. You know, like that thing flips over on one kid. That's not good. So we had to get rid of it. You know.
So you're saying I shouldn't get a tire?
Definitely don't. I mean, unless you're, what are you, a CrossFit gym, dude? No,
Well,
we don't need a tire.
Come on, come on. I work with semi trucks, and the guy next door is a tire shop. I was like, I keep
There
looking
you
at those
go.
tires. I'm like, all
Well,
right,
now they got those
one of
cool-
those is coming to my dojo.
Like if it's a bargain, then yeah, like it could go right back to its home.
Yeah.
You know, like where we used to
We used to have
them
them stacked like 8 feet high.
Yeah, and then that was also annoying too. You'd have kids in there and like hiding. It's like
Timmy, get out of
halfway
there.
through first class. Like, Timmy, what are you doing in there? I can't get out. I'm like, oh, jeez. No, I'm just kidding. We'd never do that. We're highly responsible here at Victory Martial Arts Academy.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if we have any lore that deep.
Oh no.
I could keep going. Like I got some other crazy stuff, but what's your bathroom break policy? I got to take a pee if we're going to go that long.
You gotta raise your hand if you gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You gotta take a potty break?
Actually, yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to take this off so you guys don't hear the lure in the bathroom there. Be right back. But yeah, you guys continue. I'll be right back.
Commercial break, commercial break. And we're back after Jason's potty break.
It was great, lovely. 10 out of 10 would recommend these bathrooms.
Great, great. The bathrooms at Victory are phenomenal, guys.
Cleanly, free trial.
Free trial.
5-star review on Google.
All right, so last thing for us boys is it's been a hot topic for the last couple, I'd say about a month or two now. This gentleman by the name of Moneyberg, the whole idea for those of us that don't know is that he basically, in a sense, bought his way to a black belt because he just paid for private lessons from these really, really big jiu-jitsu names for the last 3 years. Has never actually taken a formal, class in which he's rolling with other individuals and whatnot. And through private lessons, he now has a black belt. And personally, I don't think it is valid. There's obviously different philosophies on what it means to be a black belt, but I don't think in any philosophy he is able to call himself a black belt.
Yeah.
But feel free to chip in. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
you can't fast track your way to a black belt. I got I don't know how many words, but I have a couple of words. 2-month Dagestan, brother. See how he wades out there in Dagestan with the wrestlers, dude. Like, I don't know, like take him to a regular open mat, like any jiu-jitsu open mat, and let's test that black belt out, like you said, there's multiple definitions of what it means to become a black belt, but none of those definitions entail 3 months and a lot of money. Like it's a process. There's a lot of time you have to put in, a lot of sacrifice you have to make, a lot of losses, a lot of mistakes you have to make, failures you have to overcome. Like you can't just, hey, I got a lot of money, you got private lesson time, let's make this happen. That's not how it works, That's my input on Moneyberg.
Yeah.
Who gave him the black belt?
I'm not 100% sure, actually. I don't know enough about it.
Amazon. I don't know.
Well, I feel like money could make it easier. Like there's Zuckerberg, who's like very big on jiu-jitsu. Tom Hardy that I know of, I believe he's blue belt level or something. He also publicly competes at jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff. So I think money to an extent could make it 10 times easier.
I'm sure you get more resources, you know, like you could go wherever, whenever to train with the best in the world, but it doesn't mean that's gonna, like, sure, maybe you'll get the fundamentals faster, but also like you're getting so much different input from so much different people at different styles at almost like at the wrong time in your learning development curve. So like you're getting, I don't know, it could be, if anything, more confusing than helpful, more chaotic than progressive, if that makes sense, It's like taking not to cut back in here, but it's like taking a brand new student on a 3-week trial. All right, you're doing 3 days at Jackson Winks, then you're going to TriStar in Canada, and then you're going to, like, before Conor McGregor went crazy, SBG gym in Ireland, and then you're going to tell me what you think, what's your philosophy on martial arts.
Yeah.
You're going to come out like 3 complete different philosophies on whatever martial art you're training based on where you're at.
Yeah. DJ, anything to add?
I have no idea.
You don't even know who he is.
Nice.
I just know that he got his black belt in 3 years, and that's it.
Super
Crazy.
helpful.
Yeah, I know. I don't know enough about the lore about him, but yeah, you can't replace like hard work with money. Like it's just, yeah, you need to put in the time, put in the work, and if he's only doing it with private lessons.
From my understanding, yes. Just like
Yeah, you
one-on-one
can't
time.
become a black belt just working with an instructor one-on-one. That's just not how that works.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. Like,
Yeah,
you
that
have to
doesn't make
roll-
any sense.
You have to do a whole room of random dudes who are your teammates for a decade to really figure it out enough, you know?
Yeah, and having some kind of experience.
Right, plus like if you're only doing...
Because it's like, I mean, you can study like a jiu-jitsu book,
Right.
but like that doesn't mean you know how to do it, right? Like,
Right. And, like, imagine like you're playing chess against one guy, private lesson instructor.
Yeah.
You're playing chess against one guy for 3 months. Oh, I'm a black belt because I can beat him now. But then you play chess against somebody else, completely different strategy. Like, oh, well, I'm a beginner again. That's, you know, like you can't become a black belt playing chess against one person or doing jiu-jitsu against one person. Like you have to like against multiple different people, different styles, different experience levels, different walks of life.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of it.
Yeah, that's I like that point that you made because I spent the summer in Colorado and I was, you know, training at a different gym, and the things that they were doing was so different than what we do in here, you know. Well, I mean, thinking about it, like we do more MMA based, like wrestling stuff, jiu-jitsu stuff, and all that, and they were like more just jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, but like the positions were different, you know, the way that they went about teaching it, and you know, even they prioritize rolling over technique some days, and you know, just, you know, the structure's different. It's, you get different pieces of it, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent some time training in Maryland when I did have time. It was very limited because of the military, but their structure was completely different than here. Their jiu-jitsu program was Bang Muay Thai, so it was Boss Rutan's.
The jiu-jitsu was Bang Muay Thai?
Or no, their Muay Thai, their striking, their first hour.
Gotcha.
And then the jiu-jitsu part, it was mostly warm-ups and then one technique, and then we went hard rolling. Everyone's just trying to rip your head off. So I was like, I'm not trying to get injured here. So it wasn't really worth the money and the time. So I just kind of trained with some guys in the military when I did have time. But yeah, it's completely different all around.
Yeah.
Gym to gym. So.
Yeah, that gym was definitely not a 5-star rated Victory Martial Arts Academy in Orland Park.
Definitely not.
The
That
free
doesn't
trial.
have free retrial. Yeah.
Yeah, you just reminded me though
Shameless
of
plug.
like the etiquette. Like when I was over there, I felt like people were just trying to kill me.
That is pretty
Yeah.
common. You know, that's something that's different about us is like we're all just like unified under one banner for one goal. And like you guys might have met him before, like super tall dude from what used to be Victory Forest Park, which is now, shout out to Intercept, that's what they're called now. His name is Pierre Walters, and he always said, stay a fist, which happens to be our logo. Like we need to stay a fist. Like we're all together, we're all here under one banner for one goal.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to rip each other's head off. Like sure, we'll push each other, but we know each other's limits, but we're gonna push those limits not drastically, but like gradually over time. We're gonna push each other and expand, but like we're not here to like beat up on one another or dog each other out or break each other down. We're here to build each other up and stay a fist, which I thought was a cool thing. So shout out to Pierre on that one. If you're watching, who knows?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Well, guys, I think that brings us to a conclusion. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your nights to chat on the mat. And yeah, thank you guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you
5-star
for
review on
always
Google.
inviting us to that.